Man, I'm so excited to have this, this interview take place today, man. We got two amazing, individuals on this call right now. One is my brother, Brian Boggs. He's about to, go in and tell you about himself. We got another brother in this space who's doing amazing things in the NFT space as well. So, fellas, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Everybody, I just want to correct you, man. Your math is wrong.
One who don't know. Go ahead, brother.
I just want to correct you real quick because your math is wrong. Because you said two amazing brothers, there's three amazing brothers on this call. Make sure you got that right.
Right.
No, you're right. I was in my humble space, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm surrounded by greatness, and I appreciate that because we all on the same level. I appreciate that space.
Absolutely. So, y'all know me, Brian Boggs, the other half of DECONFLICTED, retired naval officer, 25 years, faithful service, and serial entrepreneur, just here to speak game and give game.
Nice. My name's Abraham Muheize. I'm really excited to be here with you two gentlemen. Really appreciate you guys having me. I come from the NFT world within this last year as NFTs started booming within 2021. I jumped in pretty heavily, and now that it's down in a market, I'm still here building. So I'm excited. I've been an entrepreneur over 15 years now. In a few different spaces. Used to own my own basketball team where I built a community, and I marketed it well enough to where that's what recruited me into the NFT space. But yeah, that's who I am, and happy to be here with you guys.
Solid.
Boom. So let's go ahead and get into it. The purpose for this call is on DECONFLICTED, on our DECONFLICTED podcast is trying to provide a different perspective to everyday situations. You know what I'm saying? And what we also are trying to do is not even trying to, what we're also doing is creating a healthy space for people, who are like us, come from, different backgrounds, and focus on getting it out the mud and figure out ways to better ourselves and better the people around us, if we can. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on this stream is a father, right? Everybody on the stream is a father. Everybody on here is an entrepreneur. Everybody has a beard. So it's a beautiful it's a beautiful thing, man. And I'm glad we're all able to get on and share this conversation. I actually wrote down some questions, man. And if we can just get straight into it, because I know you got to be somewhere, Abe, shortly, and Brian, I know you got to be somewhere. I'm a truck driver, so I don't start driving for another hour and a half. So if you guys don't mind, what are NFTs and how do they work, Abe?
So NFTs are non-fungible tokens. That's what it symbolizes, non-fungible tokens. But an NFT, the way I like to explain it, is like grabbing a share. It's like getting your share of either a company, a business, a person, and it's on the blockchain. It's always recorded. So there's nothing. So what you have is always attached to the blockchain. And what that means is it's on the internet. It's connected all on the internet. So for example, just to give you a real life example of how NFTs work, I owned a basketball team called the San Diego Kings, and I partnered with an attorney named Attorney King, and we became 50-50 partners, and he funded the money and I ran the basketball team. Now in NFTs though, with NFTs, I could easily have 5,000 NFTs, 1,000 NFTs at whatever price, say $100, say 5,000 of them at $100, and people can buy those up as shares, and they own a share of the San Diego Kings. So it's just a new technology and a new way for people to actually like raise money and actually build a community. And those people that invest that 100, maybe somebody wants 10 of those shares, NFTs. Maybe somebody wants 20, maybe somebody wants 50 because they believe in it. Now, with those shares, they're always attached to that business. They're attached to the San Diego Kings. So that's what the best way I can explain of what an NFT actually is, if that makes sense.
So how are shares determined on NFTs, and how are they distributed and calculated?
So that's based off of the project, the business that's actually running it. So that they decide, hey guys, we want to raise 500 grand. So we're going to sell 5,000 NFTs at $100 each.
Gotcha.
And that's where you can buy in as many as you'd like, depending on what the company actually does. This basically, what this does is cut out a whole middleman for you needing the capital. What I like about it is what I tell people is if you're starting a business, this helps you raise the capital you need, and it helps you grow your market at the same time, which is unheard of. Usually there's just investors. They're usually pretty silent. They invest their money and boom, let you do your thing. But now with NFTs, they're actually attached. They own a piece of the company with that NFT. And now they feel like they want to market it, promote it, because their share value goes up. Because that NFT, say in a year or two now, they bought it at 100, but say it's worth 1,000. It's 10x, because that's the cheapest that anybody wants to even sell their NFT because of how well you did within that year. Just like a stock.
I got you. So it's similar to like crowdsourcing with a tangible asset.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
And that's what I love about NFTs. It's a whole different way to look at even finance and raising capital. Because when I got out of college, and I actually was in venture capital, I had a good friend of mine who taught me how to raise capital. We had to talk to investors, ask them for $49,000 for 1% of our company. We're putting together a transportation company. And I'm fresh out of college, and this is a whole new language to me. I'm like, 49,000 over the phone. I remember asking when I seen the script, I'm like, is this 4,900? He's like, no, hey, 49,000. Say that shit out loud. No money unless you say it with confidence. I'm like, damn, people just give out 49 grand for 1%. It blew my mind. But then I realized I could only talk to accredited investors, meaning they had to be worth $1 million or be bringing in over 200 grand a year. But who's really bringing in that kind of money? They don't look like us. It was like only older white men where I could talk to, and I got to learn what they look at, how an investor actually invests, what they look at the history, they look at what you've done, they look at your business plan, and then they decide they want to invest. But that cuts out, people like us who don't make that type of money. But with this new technology and NFTs, this gives us a chance. We want to invest in 10 different companies, 20 different companies. We want to spend $50, or we want to spend 1,000, 50,000. We now have those chances.
Okay. I
Can
dig
you
it.
tell us about the differences between Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3? Because I'm seeing a lot of Web 3s out there right now. And for the people who don't really know about this space, what is the differences between the three? And why is Web 3 so important for right now for the NFT space?
So Web 1 was your like AOL, your chat, your beep when you got online, Web 2 became more of your like Instagram, Facebook, your social and your chatting and that experience online. You're actually purchasing online. And Web 3 is a whole new platform. That's what it brings NFTs. That's what it brings a whole new concept into the metaverse. That's where the blockchain comes in. That's where like the blockchain, metaverse, and Web 3 comes into play. So that's like three differences of Web 1, Web 2, Web 3.
Okay. Now I got another question for you real quick. Why are NFTs a good investment?
So it just like in any investment, it just depends on what exactly you're investing in and who you're investing in to make that a good investment. Just because you invest in an NFT, I've seen a lot of people in this space, they took advantage of young people thinking, oh, this is a great investment, let me just jump in. But then all of a sudden they like disappeared. So when I was saying like I know what an investor looks at because I was in venture capital coming out of college, I got into the NFT space and I've seen people really just investing off of hype. They'd buy into a project based off the hype, like, oh, this Zorro X22, they don't even have a face to them. You don't know nothing about them. They're just hyping up this roadmap. They call them the roadmaps, which is a business plan. And they're making it sound like, oh, so good. And for me, knowing what a real business plan looks like, knowing what a real investor looks like, I'm like, who is this Zorro X or who is this behind this project? One, I need to know who it is. I need to know what they've accomplished because that's going to help me determine what they are going to be able to do with that roadmap that they presented us. Do I feel like they could fulfill that? So those like factors make a huge difference. But in this space early on, a lot of people just threw out a bunch of BS, made it sound oh so good. All these people bought in and all of a sudden the team like disappeared. No one knows like where they're at. They just like, they call it a rug pull. They basically like rug pulled you. So I wouldn't say it's just any good investment. You got to be able to do your research and understand what exactly you're getting into, the company you're getting into, the people running it, to decide if that's actually a good enough NFT for you to get involved in.
Question, follow up to that.
Yes.
So how do you, if you were to get an NFT, let's say you put 50,000 in NFTs.
Okay. How
do you get compensated or to monetize that NFT to get a revenue stream?
So when you're saying you're putting 50,000 into NFTs, all the NFTs, they're like, some of them cost $50 to get involved in. Some of them cost 1,000, some 2,000. I've seen the big three with Ice Cube. They came out and made it to where you can invest in them with NFTs at 25,000 per or at 5,000, and those had different benefits with those type of investments attached to it. So if you're going to put 50,000 in, it depends what platform now you're going to go on, because there's platforms like OpenSea that where you can trade, sell, and get NFTs. And then there's like Solana. So there's some through Ethereum, there's Polygon, there's Solana. So if you're going to put 50,000 in cash wise, you'd put it into either like Ethereum, Solana, you'd have that crypto. And with that crypto is how you would actually like purchase those NFTs.
Okay, so basically, really, the way that you get compensated and monetize it is through the trading.
Through the trading, through the value of the NFTs.
Right.
So, just like any investment, like in real estate, you knew if you got it right now and all of a sudden 3 to 5 years it goes up, you can resell that. Now on the blockchain with those NFTs, it's the same type of deal.
Solid.
Talk to us about me and you were chopping it up at the end of that event, and one thing that that really sparked my interest was the idea of, you know, when you do business with people and you guys have contracts, sometimes some people can find loopholes and figure out a way to get out of it or finesse you in that business deal. Tell me about smart contracts.
So smart contracts are also on the blockchain, is what dictates how it's basically everything is just documented on the blockchain. That's what's so nice about NFTs, the blockchain, and Web3 is everything's documented. It's on the blockchain. So you can set up any contract on the blockchain, and that's like having a paper contract, but even better, it's actually digitally, and it's on the blockchain. So any type of smart contract we were to put together, we can have that on the blockchain, and that's what's and it's documented. It's right there for everybody to see, you know, digitally.
What is the blockchain based off of your understanding of it?
So the blockchain is everything is connected through a link. Everything is attached through a link. So to where you can actually see the smart contract, you can actually see the NFTs, you can actually see what's going on. You can see when it was traded, what time it was traded, how much it was traded for. Everything is documented on that blockchain. So this is think of like a huge internet like area in the internet where you can go and actually see everything documented and laid out without having to go through files or having to go through an attorney or you basically cut out those middlemen of where your documents or anything would be stored. Now it's actually on the blockchain. Digitally, everything is connected. So like every NFT has its own unique link. Every wallet, you know, you have a wallet because that's where your NFT store has its own unique link. So everything has its own unique link, which tracks back to your smart contract, your NFTs, and anything that you do have connected to the blockchain.
So it's a readily available transaction history.
Right. Everything is readily available. So like anytime you made a trade or anything on with NFTs, you can actually click the receipt. It basically shows you the whole transaction, how much it cost, how much you paid, and even like transaction fees, which are called gas fees. When you use Ethereum to buy some of these NFTs, everything is documented and tracked.
Okay. Now, question. Now, looking at the NFT, and then when you invested in a business via NFTs,
right?
How do you ensure that your share of the business? What is there a way to ensure that your share of the business comes to you in dividends or whatnot, or does it come in blockchain? Does it come in cryptocurrency? Like, how does that move?
So right now, as far as like security wise, they don't have it. It's not set up yet. It's still that early where they don't have it as far as dividends being paid out. But like for myself, I invested in an artist, and she creates digital art. And I looked up her background. She was like a child prodigy. She's been like winning art competitions like her whole life. You know, she's still like in her 20s. So I was like, oh, I got like one of her NFTs for like $100. She has a project. It's called the Honeys. But because I bought in, I bought one. My wife actually bought like 5 of them. She loved them. But because I got in with them, she basically like airdrops us because we own that share. That share is connected to her. She airdrops us free art on a regular basis, like seasonal art, different seasons. And with that, they're worth like 20, 30, $40. I have like 12 of them now. I could literally sell those if I was trying to make my money. But because I believe where this is going and
Right.
how far it's going, I just keep holding on to these.
Okay.
So there's no actual like, if you're looking for like insurance on it, just like any investment, there's not like really insurance. You have to do your research. You have to understand what NFTs you're actually buying.
No,
So-
I wasn't looking for insurance. It was more of just trying to ask the question on what I don't want to say guarantee, but I can't think of a better term. That what you invest in is what you get. That basically what I was saying. But you've answered my question though.
For sure. Yeah, it's all based off of who you're investing in. At the end of the day, you know, who's behind it, who's running it, who's going to fulfill what they say. But just like any business, you know, say like I went to you guys with a business and you guys invested in me, but you guys took a chance on me, you guys took a gamble, but say I couldn't fulfill, but we knew that up front, you know, going in, like here's the risk, here's the reward. I could fulfill and kill it and we all make a ton of money, or this is the worst case scenario. We flop out and it doesn't work out and we lose our money and time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
that's
like
the risk reward system.
yeah.
How does a person create these NFTs and get them to that blockchain?
How does a person create them? So
Yeah.
there are developers in this space that help you do that. But you can also there's also easier ways you could do it, like through OpenSea or through these platforms where you can actually create your NFT and put them on the blockchain. So for example, when I first got into NFTs, I got in with a project called Picture Day. We represented this oil paint artist from Los Angeles named Gina Palmerin, and she has 12 physical paintings of her art, and they're like Snoop Dogg as a young kid. It's like Billie Eilish as a young kid, Bob Marley. So she paints them as her vision of them as young kids. Now, she also painted traits for all of them. So like some of them are wearing hats. Some of them have like Snoop has like a blunt. Elon has like a blunt. Like some of them have like different color shirts, different outfits. Snoop has like a Kobe 8 jersey on. They have like different traits, but those are done. She paints these by hand. And then we had our digital guy turn those 12 physical paintings into 5,000 digital NFTs, all different, one of one, unique in them. So like Albert Einstein in the collection, he only had 50 of them. Then you had Selena in the collection, she only had 100. Then you have Elon Musk, he only has 200. So they're all different, one of one uniques. But our team was the one who took this artist's 12 and then digitally put them together, which took time to actually make the 5,000 total NFTs. Then our tech guy, he's the one who uploaded it with a smart contract to actually go onto the blockchain. And we ended up going with OpenSea, which is an Ethereum-based blockchain. And that's how we got them on there. And then we launched our project, which is still live right now.
Question, speaking on that, is there a rating system for the different NFT providers on who's better, who's higher rated, things like that?
So they have something like rarity tools where you can see how rare your NFT actually is. So the project, when they sell their project out, they send in their percentages of like which like there's 4 or 5 Snoops with a Kobe jersey. That's like a rare one in the collection. Because there's only 50 of the Albert Einsteins, that's a rare one in the collection. So when people buy in, they call it minting into the collection, they get a random one within the collection. They're all paying at one set price. They buy in, they get one of those NFTs. Now those NFTs have different rarities, which means the value of them can be worth more than others.
Gotcha.
Like for me, I was in love with the Snoop, with the Reggie Bush jersey, the blunt, and the shades. All of a sudden, when somebody actually minted that came out into the out of the project. Somebody bought in at in dollars, they bought in at $300, but then within a day they flipped it for $1,500 from somebody who really wanted that Reggie Bush jersey on Snoop in that collection.
Okay.
Okay.
How often are NFTs traded and through what exchanges?
So OpenSea is the largest platform right now. In 2021, it was a huge boom in NFTs, and that went all the way up until May when crypto started taking a dive right now. If you guys are familiar with crypto, Ethereum, Bitcoin, everything is down right now. So a lot of it has slowed down, but a lot of people like to think right now it's just correcting the market because the price and the inflation of them were just getting ridiculously high. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, the Bored Apes. The Bored Apes were some of those sell for $1 million plus. There's Post Malone buying one or two at $750,000. You have Steph Curry, Shaq. You have these guys that bought in, but that raised the value because of the value of people that joined this exclusive club. Like Bored Apes, they had only 10,000 total, and you owning one, you're part of this exclusive club. So all that right now has basically recorrected, but there's still projects out there right now that are building, and because of their communities that they have within this space, they're able to still sell out their projects and still able to go through with NFTs. But as far as how many are being sold right now, the numbers are down compared to the last few months.
Okay, then one more question on top of that. Can NFTs be utilized as collateral for other conventional funding sources?
What do you mean?
So if you have a business, you can borrow against a business. If you have art, you can borrow against art. Can you borrow against an NFT?
I don't know about the word as far as borrowing, but as far as using the NFTs is like we were saying earlier, like a crowdfunding.
It's collateral. Like you say, hey, I want to get $50,000 and I'm a secure that funding with this NFT as collateral.
So for sure. So I'm a company and I want to raise 50,000, and I can I can market those NFTs and break that down to equal 50,000. And with that 50,000, those that invested in it, I would basically be able to put together almost like an investment package of what you actually get. What's the value behind that for that 50,000 that I raise? So it is like another source to actually raise the funding needed. So as a company, if it's hey, I want to expand on my restaurant, and with this expansion of my restaurant, I'm giving out 5,000 NFTs at $100. It's going to cost me $500,000. I'm going to use that money to expand. And those that are invested, those that do have the NFTs, those that get 20 or more will always have access this at the restaurant. Those that get 10 or more will have this type of access. You get one, you always get these discounts or this type of access at the restaurant. So just like a crowdfunding source, you can use that with your NFTs, and that NFT is always connected on the blockchain with your smart contract, which also says all that as well.
Okay,
that's hella dope. Okay,
that's what I love about the NFTs.
And then, real quick question: off the NFTs, right? If I'm understanding correctly, the bulk of the NFT space right now is Ethereum, right? So would it be safe to say that if we decide to go into the NFT space, it'd be safe to say to go after Ethereum as as the coin we want to utilize? But I think you mentioned another one. If we wanted to get into the NFT space, you mentioned another coin that we can utilize as well to make these purchases.
There's Solana, there's Polygon, that are a few as well that you can actually use.
Where do we buy that? Where would you recommend that we buy those at?
You can get them on Coinbase. It just depends on what platform you would like. I use Coinbase, and I have a MetaMask wallet. I also have with Solana. I have a Phantom wallet. That's another one you can use. And just to backtrack, Brian, about the collateral of the NFTs, there are people that like recently that with their Bored Ape, they use their ape to build or restore like within their home, you know, to be able to use that as collateral. Also, someone recently traded a VFriend, which is Gary Fee's NFTs, for a house. So people are actually using that nowadays. And there's even like you can even use your NFT on platforms like Rally, where you can actually sell percentages into your NFT that you own.
Solid.
So you have an NFT that you invested in, that thing is worth 100 grand, 200 grand. You can have people that buy like micro shares at smaller percentages through a platform called Rally.
Okay.
So that's really cool as well.
I want to add on to the question that Antoine asked is, since the NFTs are associated with a crypto, does the value of an NFT, is it affected by the value of that coin?
In dollars, yes.
Okay.
So Ethereum is down. We marketed our project at 0.1 ETH when Ethereum was around 3,200, 3,000. The price was about $300, $320. But right now, because it's down to like 1,200 today, it's about 120 to actually buy one in dollars.
Gotcha.
But it's still 0.1 Ethereum.
Okay, I got you. So
the
value
value
in the coin is the same.
The value of it is up and down as well.
Right, just the value to the dollar, it adjusts.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Boom. Okay. Man, I think that ran it up for me. My understanding is a little bit more. My understanding of the NFTs and the NFT space is now a little bit better understood. And I think that you painted a picture for us that allowed us to see the direction the NFT space is going, and how we can jump into it. Obviously, you know what I mean. You know, invest at your own risk. Like any investment, invest at your own risk. Do your research. There's plenty of different resources. You got Reddit out there. You got Twitter out there. There's tons of different places you can go to get research. My next question is, now, how does all of that play a factor in what role does NFTs play in the new meta space?
So in metaverse, NFTs play in the metaverse, NFTs play a huge role. And it's almost like, you know, we have kids like Roblox, right? You guys know how Roblox, where the kids kind of build their own communities and Roblox. Right. They have their own like, restaurants that people come into. That's where NFTs are actually also going to play a role. Like you can come to my gallery where you can see the art that I have up. You can come to my space where there's one where now like this skincare company called Skin V Care, they're actually putting like kiosks in people's metaverse that have traffic already, and where you can actually go and buy your skincare products straight from there and have them sent to your house. But you're in the metaverse seeing all this, how it works and everything, that you can have it sent to your house. It's still early. It's super early right now, but this is where all that is going, where your digital assets will be in the metaverse. Like people even have like clothes, you know, Nike is into NFTs and all now, but like now it's going to be, how dope is your avatar? Like, oh, you got the new J's on your avatar, or you got the new chain, and to verify how real it is, it's not like trying to check the back of a Gucci belt or trying to check your shoes to see if they're real. Now it's connected. You can see what's connected on the blockchain, how real it is. Oh, you own that NFT. You own that one of one digital asset. Like you own that property in the metaverse, you know, next to Snoop, where there's going to be a concert there tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like there's just, it's so early right now, but that's where it's going in the near future. And just to hit on what you were saying earlier though, like for most people trying to understand about NFTs, this took me like months of being in the space on Twitter. I got on Twitter Spaces. I've heard a lot of different people talking. I've been to all these different conventions. I was just in New York City a couple weeks ago for the national New York City NFT convention. Then I was in Miami before that, LA, San Diego. So all these different conventions that are actually like, you know, you get to see what type of businesses are turning into NFTs, what creativity is going on. You get to actually, it gets to open your mind up a little more of how NFTs work. And if I could suggest anything, don't just go buying into them. I suggest do actually like figure out how to put your money into the crypto, get a wallet, actually buy one, see it into your wallet. But before doing that, actually do some research on, and you could do that on Twitter. You know, Twitter has a lot of good sources where, you know, a lot of these projects that have NFTs, they are on Twitter. And then on Twitter, they're also in Discord. And Discord is where they're actually like communicating with their community of people that actually like own these NFTs as well.
Solid. And one thing I want to add is, you know, just for the people is, it's better to learn these things early than to learn them late.
Yeah,
that's how you're able to take advantage of the craze and the momentum that these things get.
Exactly. And right now is the perfect timing. Like I was saying earlier, with the market being down, they call it a bear market right now. But it won't be too long before it starts taking off again. And it's like, how much do you want to know, and how much real estate do you want in this space? You know, because it's so open and there's so much space. You can get your real estate now. You know, there's so many opportunities in this space right now where just learning in the education part alone can be of value, because you might see like, okay, as the market is going up, you might know what NFTs you do want to invest in, because that could, you know, change in value very quickly as the market does change.
Right. And I like the way you utilize real estate in that analogy, because to me, this is just like real estate. You know, like land itself is cheap until someone wants it.
Exactly.
And then that's how it gains value.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the same, and that's the exact same with NFTs. If I sold 20 NFTs and there's only 20 for me, and I say I put them at $100, but all of a sudden I'm like killing it, and I'm doing it just, hey, if you want to get behind Abe, and Abe's going to be on TV, or Abe's going to do this, and Abe's going to do that, and my value goes up, and all of a sudden I start throwing like the dopest parties every year, and all of a sudden those 20 NFTs have huge access to like private events. Next thing you know, those 20 people are like, man, I'm not selling that unless it's like I'm getting $10,000 for it. This thing is valuable. Now all of a sudden, those $100 NFTs are worth $10,000 because those 20 people set the value at it.
Facts.
Just like a home in real estate, you know, if one house on the block sold for $1 million, everybody's value just went up. There's $1 million house on the block.
Exactly. Hey, that's exactly how it rolls.
And the beautiful thing about it is not so much only that you can buy these NFTs, but you can also create these NFTs and turn around and sell these NFTs. You know what I'm saying? Like it is today's form of digital real estate, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know how to code, you can build you a digital house like they do on Roblox. Because I literally was just playing this with my kids. What was it, yesterday? Day before yesterday? Day before yesterday? Sometimes this week I was playing Roblox with my kids. I was getting murdered. I have no clue. I don't know how to shoot the guns, all that type of stuff. My kids are like, Dad, you keep getting killed. You're supposed to go this way. So it's for me. But even in that, how I think of the metaverse, right? I think of, like you said, Roblox, right? And I'm thinking like the houses that are in that space can be created by somebody, and then it can be sold by somebody, and it can be bought by somebody. So you don't have to just be, you know, on the consumer end, you know, just only buying up, you know, NFTs and things like that. You also can be creating them and then turn around and selling them and making a profit off of it that way. Real quick, and I know everybody got to go. When you buy NFT, I heard something about every time it sells, I don't know if it's all NFTs or some of them, every time it sells, the owner gets a point off of that, or you know, each person gets a point. Can you talk about that and clear that up for me?
Yeah, so like the example of us in Picture Day, you know, with art, the artist, every time she sells her art, whatever price she sells it at, boom, that's her price. That's what she got for it. It's gone. But all of a sudden, you know, artists like Picasso, what was he selling for? Like 10, 15, 20 bucks of his art back in the day. But all of a sudden, like as life goes on, he passes away. His art is still out there. It's now worth millions, right?
Right.
But him, his family, no one will ever see a piece of that. Only the people that bought it, buy. But because everything is attached to the blockchain now with NFTs, the creator, can always get a royalty percentage, like 5%, 10%, whatever they set it at, as their art moves on and sells. Or even it could be even beyond art. It could be music. It could be whatever it is attached to it. As that value goes up and people resell it, the creator always gets their royalty out of it, which is like super dope in the NFT space.
That is tight.
Even music, think about music and the difference of music. So this is what I love about music. Say, like, you know how generally music works. You're an artist in music. Say you're a singer, and these labels come to you and they're like, hey, we're going to pay you $1 million up front right now. And with that $1 million, also, we're going to send you on tour. Your network's going to grow. As your network grows, and your music gets way more popular, now you're going to get 20% of the royalties. We're going to take 80%. And that's how they usually get these artists, and they like lock them in, they build them up, and then all of a sudden it's like you get the lesser end and we're getting this fat chunk of what your name has just built. But now with NFTs, it's like, I don't need that $1 million up front. Let me go sell 10,000 NFTs of my music at 100 each, where people can actually like own it to actually want to hear my music, and they'll spend 100 for that. And now I offer royalties to my actual 10,000 holders. Now I take 80% and I give 20% to my holders that believed in me early on to build me up and let me keep going and building my network. And that's the difference with NFTs. We're cutting out these middlemen now that would rob you, blind. Now it's like based off of your fan base, your community, your network that you build off of that believe in you.
I like it.
That's a beautiful thing, man. I'm going to say this real quick, and we can go ahead and sign off. To my understanding, NFT is about ownership. The space of the whole NFT movement is about ownership. It's really about owning your craft versus being in situations to where you use other people's platforms and don't get paid for it. You know what I mean? Now it's an opportunity for you to go ahead and use these platforms and get some type of compensation for participation. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you got like we said before, do your freaking research, know what you're getting into, you actually do it. Because if you know what I mean, if you invest in something, like you said before, if you invest in somebody, you have no clue who it is, you have no idea who's behind that NFT, and all of a sudden, boom, they disappear. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you invest in somebody, a well-known person, and it blows up, and now your NFT has value to it, that's also on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's hand in hand. Fellas, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys taking the time. We were trying to, get with you for like the last few weeks. Abe, I know you got, I know you busy. Brian, I know you busy. I'm on this road trying to figure it out. So I appreciate, the opportunity for all of us to come together in this one space. I hope we can, as you continue to grow, Abe, and in this space, we definitely want to pick up with you later on and see where, NFT has gone. Also figure out different ways to grab other people in the NFT space to interview them and also get different perspectives. I'm really excited about this because, again, I don't feel it's going anywhere. It's only going to keep growing. I appreciate you guys, fellas. You know what I mean? You guys have an amazing day. Be safe out there, man. Enjoy this beautiful weather. And I'm signing off.
Hey, really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the time and being able to talk about this. I definitely love it. And Antoine, I don't know if you had a chance to throw on that Oculus yet that your boy won at the last event. Game changer.
Boxing, bro. Like, what? I was in there. There's a boxing game. I was in there boxing. I did like my oldest son Abraham was like, he did the whole thing, knocked the dude out. I gave him about a good 5-7 seconds. It was like,
it's a real workout.
How out of shape you are.
It's a real workout.
It's real VR. You know what I'm saying? You put that thing in and you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like as you're boxing, it's nothing like the Wii. You're literally in it. It's a whole new different space, and that's why I said as that continues to evolve, I want us to be able to touch on that as that whole space continues to evolve, man, and keep the people aware of what's going on. Brian, any last words before we get out of here?
I don't really have any last words. I just want to thank Abraham for your time, and I look forward to follow-up conversations.
Definitely, man. Maybe next time we can all be like in a room together or something instead of online.
That sounds like a winner.
At some point, I'd love to meet you, Brian.
Absolutely.
Definitely, man.
All right,
Thanks
fellas.
for
You
your time, guys.
man.
Appreciate it.
Peace to the fellas.
All right, gentlemen.
All right.